And there's nothing limp about Piggy Smalls as he pulls forward. And after that hurdle, he's running his own race now with only Hoshi giving chase. But he's way behind, and Piggy Smalls looks scarily comfortable on that racetrack. All of them are in front though, but Piggy Smalls draws level with the leader, which is Hoshi, as they get to the mountain. They both go over it together and leave it together as well. And Hoshi and Piggy Smalls are right at the end, and I think Piggy Smalls got it. I think he got it again. But Ginger's right on his trotters, and now that doesn't separate them as they go over the hurdle. They get to the water, and now the separation begins as Piggy Smalls leaves them completely behind and sets a record. Sub 11 on the water course is lightning quick. Hello and welcome to League of Pigs, and if we take a look at the points at the midway point, we're able to get some hints about what the Season 5 story might be. Bear's lack of initiative to seize her first championship has created a power vacuum, and it's the two boys that look most eager to fill it, as they put in dominating performances over the previous 2 rounds. We can never discount Ginger, but she's got a lot of work to do. But enough with the speculation, let's head over to the first race of round 3. The first race begins and Bear gets the best start, but Ginger's right there with her as they head down the track, and that's chicanes! And the pigs negotiate it well, and Bear's the first to leave and continue down the track, and to jump a hedge hurdle! She jumps a hedge hurdle, and the league has come out swinging in race 1 of round 3 and blown expectations completely out the water as the pigs face 2 new obstacles. Chicanes is the kind of thing you see in motorsport, and you have to be asking the question right now, do you see this in dog racing? No, you do not. Do you see it in horse racing? Of course you don't. And some sports out there are getting very hot under the collar as they see a seemingly amateur league continue its march to become the greatest league this world has ever known. The good news continues as the league find a home for the pigs. They call it Piggy Heaven. And the crown jewel of Piggy Heaven is this mighty mound, which moving forward we will simply refer to as the hill. This is the first time the pigs have ever been in Piggy Heaven, and the excitement is palpable. Everything their eyes fall upon, they can dig, unless they're looking on the other side of the fence, then they can't do that. But everything else is diggable, and for a pig, it doesn't get much better than that. Race 2 begins, and there's a burst of speed on the far side, and Bear comes out on top out of the 3 of them as they get to the mountain here, but they're on a tail, and they catch up on the mountain as well, and Bear looks like she's fading a bit, and a record's being broken on the mountain. And I don't know who by, we'll have to find out in a second, but it shows how tight the margins are in pig racing. That could make all the difference in the finals. And it's Ginger with the record and the 10 points. And that means that she's on top in this round after race 2. I'm not sure why Hoshi and Pepper didn't feature much. They had plenty of space on this near side to do something with, but they didn't do anything with it. And it's the other 3 that really show strength. Unfortunately for Bear, she started to weaken towards the end, giving opportunities to both Smalls and Ginger. Work immediately begins on the hill, and as you can see, everybody lends a hand. Apparently, the plan is to reduce the hill by 2 feet and expand sideways. These guys haven't stopped from the moment they walked into Piggy Heaven, and it will be very interesting to see the progress they make when they all work together. For now, we'll just head over to race 3. The pin's pulled, and as the door goes down, 3 of them get decent starts, but Bear gets the best start again this round, and Ginger's with her, just like we've seen before. And now Ginger draws level. In fact, she goes ahead on the mountain, and she gets the record from the previous race, and this time it's with the 8-inch hurdle, so a difficult track and a quicker time. Ginger needs to win races to catch up with the boys, but in fairness to her, she's doing just that. And the boys should know better. We've seen this with Ginger loads. You take your trotter off the accelerator for 1 moment and Ginger will come in and start sweeping points off the table. So these boys need to guard their lead, and just look how close it is again this round. All the pigs are stepping up to the plate now. The pig that has been most invigorated by this new project is Hoshi, and he's cleared a lot of the soil by himself, and it's for a couple of reasons. First of all, his upbringing. He's been digging hills in Japan from a very young age. But second of all, it's his build. You can tell that he's from a long line of miners because he's a very chunky pig. And although he looks squishy, and he is underneath, on his back and on his neck are rock hard and packed full of muscle. And it means he's able to generate a lot of power, more so than pigs like Bear or Pepper. It will be interesting to see if he carries on with this same amount of gusto, but for now, we just need to head over to race 4. Pins pulled as the door drops. It's Pepper Sanchez who easily gets the best start out of all of them, but will she negotiate these chicanes nicely? She does the first one, and the second, and the third one, and what's more, she puts distance between herself and Ginger to give her time for the hedge, which she cleans just fine, and sets a better time than Bear did in race 1. And you have to be asking yourself now, what can't these pigs do? Nobody was asking for a hedge hurdle, not a single person, yet the league comes in and just throws one in there because they're so confident at this point that the pigs can do it. And lo, the pigs can do it. Leicester's never forget how impressive that is, ever. And we are now in a situation halfway through season 5 where it's now in our reality that pigs can just clear hedges no problem. But it takes an immense effort and a big heart to be able to do it, and we should never underappreciate it. Finally, the pigs have left the hill, and Ginger and the others are by the entrance of Piggy Heaven right now. And Ginger's had a good round, and she needs to if she's to catch up with the boys. Oh, Pepper's seen something. Oh, there's a false alarm. And like I was saying, Ginger's had a good round, but she's very good at this, getting second and third, and it means she can chip away at points leads quite easily. Let's see if she continues to do that by heading over to race 5. Race 5 begins and Pepper and S'mores get good starts. Pepper especially gets out nicely there, but she slows down for the hurdle now. Piggy Smalls takes over, but Ginger is keeping with him all the way now down to the line. And I couldn't tell you a single position there from first, second, third or fourth. Only Pepper came 5th. And I can understand why the officials will take some time on this one. That's the closest race you'll see for nearly any of the positions. But it's Ginger who gets first and it's Bear who gets third. And of course we're going to see the finish line cam for that one. But that does change it. And that actually means that Bear has a pretty good round so far. Not as good as Ginger right now, but still pretty good. Piggy Smalls looks like he was ahead on both those hurdles. So it's really impressive by Ginger to get back in it at the end. Let's have a look at this now. And remember, it's off the red line, not off the fences. They are uneven. And there's nothing in it between Bear and Hoshi there. A very hard call to make. If Hoshi's place is the hill, then Bear's place is the wood. Bear has loved this new transition to a rougher terrain that's under the cover of trees. And the wagging tail signifies that Bear is happy with the round. Personally, I can't bring myself to say that Bear is championship material, but I will admit that she has shown more promise this season than many others. I am also sceptical though that this form will continue, as we have seen sparks from Bear before. Regardless, we'll move on to race 6. The penultimate sprint race begins and Bear gets a brilliant start, and now it's Pepper who has to claw back the lost ground, and she's going to try and catch up with Bear. Will she do it? She is clawing back some of it, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and Bear gets first. Pepper has to cut her losses and cut across Hoshi, and actually that's cost Hoshi the 3rd place as he slows down and Piggy Smalls takes advantage. That was a brilliant sprint race there, but Bear's start was phenomenal. She was out by a pig length and they'd only gone past the first fence, and then Pepper was in the usual position of having to claw it back, which she did do very well in fairness, but it wasn't enough to come back from Bear's impressive start. Pepper decides to explore Piggy Heaven further, and the cameraman's chosen to film from above to capture the famous trot, or the endearing wiggle that Pepper has. And while Pepper's heading over to the water, now would be a good time to say that if you've enjoyed the round of racing, please do hit the like button. And if you feel the compulsion to subscribe, you've liked it that much, we certainly would appreciate it. And while Bear's getting a final drink before the last race, we'll go over there now. The final sprint begins and it's Pepper who gets the jump on everyone this time, but Bear looks dangerous on the far side. In fact, she's overtaken the Mexican, but will she keep this pace up? Because Pepper is looking dangerous as well, but Bear takes it. She's gone toe-to-toe with the Queen of Sprints, and on both occasions she's come out on top. And she was in danger of winning the round there, as she's only 2 points removed from Ginger. That's a brilliant performance from the Russian, and it's her best round for a long, long time. Pepper does well as well and overtakes Hoshi for the round because of those last 2 sprint races. So the smallest pigs do big performances, and it's the 2 boys that suffer in round 3. Why did we ever doubt Ginger? At the beginning of the round, we said she's got a lot of work to do, and sure enough, she does a lot of work and leapfrogs herself to the top of the table. It's a real shame that Bear didn't win a few more races in the first 2 rounds, or we'd be in danger of seeing something magical. But regardless, you can see that this final is going to be explosive, as there's nothing in it between the top 3 pigs. Please join us for those finals, and if you enjoyed the show, please consider subscribing, liking, and hitting that notification bell, because it really helps us out.